I'm Benny Politan. Welcome to Closing Arguments. In the next hour, we've got a lot to get to. What just happened in Chicago? This was perhaps one of the most bizarre endings to the most bizarre cases that we've ever covered here at Court TV. I'm talking about Jussie Smollett, the singer, the actor, the entertainer, who faked a hate crime. It was a hate crime hoax. He had a trial, and the jury found him guilty. And before the trial ever happened, I mean, many of us who looked at the evidence and listened to the story and saw the videos were like, his story is utterly ridiculous. The jury agreed, found him guilty. But still, as we sit here tonight, Jussie Smollett is defiant. Jussie Smollett and his family still believe and are still exclaiming that he is the victim of a hate crime. Wow. So with that backdrop, I'm gonna show you what happened in court today, because it was unpredictable, it was unexpected, it was pretty shocking. And it all began with the judge's sentencing of Jussie Smollett and then his reaction. Let's watch what happened.
You're the butt of jokes. Comedians, mainstream talk show hosts, they make jokes about you. They do sketches about you. I can't imagine anything worse than that. No, this is all self-inflicted. These are things you did to yourself. This is self-damage. Well, some people may think that what you did is funny, and that there's some room for humor or jokes about it. But I assure you, this court does not. I don't think there is anything funny at all about hoaxing and faking racial hate crimes, hoaxing or faking homophobic hate crimes. I think that is disgraceful. There is nothing funny about it. There's no humor in what you did whatsoever, all because you're selfish, arrogant, narcissistic. At least you have that side in you that came out through this case, and you kept doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. And I'm your sentencing judge, and I don't find it funny. So where are we at? We're at the end. You're convicted of a Class 4 felony. It's presumptively probationable, but we have some real serious aggravating factors here. Your premeditation, which I've described. The pain you've caused to real victims of hate crimes, which I've described. The damage you've done to the city of Chicago, I've heard. It's been talked about. I'm mindful of the city's request for restitution, and if I'm going to fashion that, consider that request, I have to fashion the sentence accordingly. And above all, the capper of all cappers, your performance on the witness stand. This could only be described as pure perjury. You got on the witness stand, you didn't have to, you did, you certainly have a right to, but you committed hour upon hour upon hour of pure perjury. And I find all those to be ample factors. If this court were to decide that the things you did, that any kind of probationary sentence would deprecate the seriousness of the offense and you need to go to the penitentiary, the record is clear and it would support it. But I'm looking at everything in its totality. And I agree. It was told to me today, you can't judge everybody by one bad thing they've done in their life. I don't know if it's the only bad thing, but this is the only bad thing that I'm concerned about now. And that you do have quite a record of real community service and quite a record of attaching with people. There is a lot of mitigation in this case as well. And I'm mindful of the pleas of mercy, particularly from people that are in the arena of dealing with social justice issues, that are fighting, seriously fighting, not playing around, not doing games like you were doing, but seriously fighting for matters involving hate crimes of all sorts. And they're asking you for mercy as well. So I'm trying to consider who you are as a person, how you got here, how somehow you strayed away from your family values, you let that dark, narcissistic, selfish, and arrogant side come out, and you persisted with it for years on this case. I'm fashioning the following sentence, and here's your sentence. I'm sentencing you to 30 months felony probation, and the probation is going to be to this court. You're going to be allowed to travel wherever you want. You do not have to live in the state of Illinois. You can report by phone. I know that if you're going to try to make a living and do some of the things you do, you may have to go to other places, New York and Los Angeles. You can do those things. You will pay restitution to the city of Chicago in the amount of $120,106. You are fined $25,000, which is the maximum fine. And you will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail. And that will start today, right here, right now. Mr. Smollett, though the jury found you guilty and I've sentenced you as I have, you have the right to appeal the findings and rulings of the court or ask your sentence to be modified. To do those things, you need to file a notice of appeal in writing within 30 days. You may also file a motion to modify your sentence, which would have to be filed in writing within 30 days. Anything not stated in those filings are waived for purposes of appeal. You cannot afford lawyers or transcripts. They would be provided free of charge. Do you have any questions?
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal. That's what I would like to say.
Okay.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that. I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time. I am not suicidal.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, there's such a disconnect here between the evidence, what the jury said, what the judge saw, what the prosecutor saw, what many of us saw, what comedians saw, and many members of the public saw, and what Jussie Smollett is still saying tonight. I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. It's an incredible disconnect between the two, because it is that attitude and what he said that put him in jail tonight. It was him testifying and in what the judge called nothing but pure perjury that put him in jail tonight. If he had pleaded guilty, just pleaded guilty to the charges, never would have done a day in jail. But he's acting like someone you would expect who was factually innocent. But we know what the evidence is and we know what his story is. This is bizarre. I've never seen a case like this before, where the facts are so clear to so many, yet a defendant acting like, you're all crazy. Of course, I'm innocent. I didn't do this. Let me bring in Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter, joining us tonight from Chicago, Illinois, where all of this is happening, so much happening. Talk to us about that courtroom, the reaction in the courtroom, Jussie Smollett during the course of the day, at the end. Really an unprecedented day. All of this over the lowest level felony possible in the state of Illinois.
Vinny, you said it perfectly before that. Unpredictable, shocking, bizarre, unexpected. It was all day long. And that just capped it off right then when Jussie Smollett himself at the end stood up, had an outburst. And that wasn't the only thing that he said on his way out. So he said that, then he was placed into the custody of the Cook County deputies, Vinny, on his way out of the courtroom with the support of his family, standing in the gallery, raising their fist, the Black Power symbol. He had another outburst. Let's watch.
I am not suicidal.
Stop locking up our flags.
I am not suicidal, and I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
He clearly still had a lot to say, even though he had an opportunity formally at the end, right before the judge rendered his sentence, to say whatever he wanted to say in mitigation or ask for mercy. After an extended break, the attorneys entered back into the courtroom. He didn't say anything at that time, Vinny. but clearly he had plenty to say all day long inside this courtroom. I mean, it was an hours-long, full day of a motion for a new trial, sentencing from both sides, aggravation and mitigation, Vinny, all throughout those hours. I'm sitting there watching Jussie Smollett, who carries himself very confidently. When he first walked in earlier this afternoon, his posture was defiant. He's flanked by his family, his attorneys. They seem to be a strength to him, a source of comfort and support that he would look to while sitting inside the courtroom throughout the day. Now, during the testimony in sentencing of mitigation, when he had family and friends read statements when they would come to the witness stand, I noticed some emotion coming from Jussie Smollett, Vinny. He would wipe tears away at times, especially at the time his older brother asked the judge for leniency, and then when his 92-year-old grandmother also took the stand asking this judge for mercy for her grandson. She was definitely the star witness of the day. He almost stood up like he wanted to go hug her or help her off the witness stand. He blew her kisses in the courtroom. And then at the end, he has this outburst, still very defiant and confident in his innocence still now.
The amazing thing about this case is that it's such a low-level felony. These cases don't take on a life of their own like this one did. And the question is why? And it seems it comes from the defendant himself, Jussie Smollett, because he will not admit that he did anything wrong. He will not waver from his story of being a victim of a hate crime at 2 o'clock in the morning outside or near the Subway sandwich shop in the middle of the polar vortex in Chicago. So many. The prosecutor today, I think, even used those words that it was a ridiculous story. And it's clear that the jury didn't believe his story. The judge doesn't believe. The judge noted that he perjured himself on the witness stand, hour after hour of perjury. And I think it was those moments that got under the judge's skin and is what put him in jail tonight.
Right, even the judge who gave a scathing 30-minute-long analysis of why he was sentencing Smollett to what he did sentence him to, went through the aggravators. He even pointed to Smollett's testimony on the witness stand, giving an example of how he characterized Smollett as arrogant, narcissistic, unapologetic, and came across that way even on the witness stand, according to the judge, and pointed out that he was so passionate about certain racial slurs that he called out the prosecutor, interrupted him while he was testifying on the witness stand to call him out on it, but yet he was calling out a hate crime that he staged. In fact, when he alleged people called him those names and that was all made up, he said, "You are a hypocrite," basically is what he told Jussie Smollett. And I'm watching Smollett during this time that the judge is just not mincing words with him, looking at him, telling that he felt there was overwhelming evidence that he lied to the police, that he was guilty. And Smollett just sat there, Vinny, straight up, looked at the judge throughout the whole time. At times he would sort of nod his head in disagreement with what the judge was saying. And I think that's what really built up so much more anger inside of Smollett that he had to release it after the sentence. He had an outburst not once, but twice because of what the judge sat there and told him for a long time.
All right, Jen, let's give the folks at home who didn't get to see it a little taste of what the judge was saying. Again, you said it took like 30, 40 minutes that he was talking about this case. I've seen the death penalty sentences quicker than this one, but let's take a listen.
I know that Jussie Smollett grew up knowing to be sensitive to matters about racial discrimination, any kind of discrimination, any kind of social injustice. And as a matter of fact, I'm learning more about it as we're going on in the letters I've been receiving and the testimony I've heard today. He's been doing this all his life. He doesn't just talk the talk, he's walking the walk. He's out there, he's advocating. He's involved in the community. He cares deeply about social justice issues. And for you now to sit here convicted of hoaxing hate crimes, racial hate crimes, and homophobic hate crimes, the hypocrisy is just astounding. I don't know where to begin. I'll remember one thing that will always stick in my mind, and I've been involved in so many trials over the years, but something happened in this trial that it was remarkable, and it talks about your sensitivity to issues of social justice. You're on the witness stand. You're being cross-examined. Your liberty is at stake. It is your criminal trial. Mr. Webb is winding through some things on cross-examination, and he's going through some social media communications, and whether it was Instagram or chat or text, a little quibbling about that, that doesn't matter. But Mr. Webb found a line that he wanted to confront you with. He said, "Didn't you say," and he used a word starting with the letter, "meet me at this place at this time," and I'm paraphrasing. And rather than just answer the question, which is what a witness is supposed to do and expected to do in their criminal trial, you stopped the proceedings. You said, "Mr. Webb, out of respect for all the African-American people in this courtroom, you should not be using that word." And I was amazed. But it showed, and I'm not talking about the parrying and the gamesmanship that may go on between a prosecutor and a witness on the stand. That's not why I'm telling this, recalling this event. But what I'm talking about is how sensitive you were to any kind of slight, that anybody, if the wrong words come out of somebody else's mouth, you're going to get up and speak up and complain about it. And make sure that they know that they're not behaving the way you're supposed to behave. So you know better than anybody else that these are serious matters. They're serious to you. They're clearly serious to you and as your whole family. And for you to be here now, convicted of these hate crimes, it's just astonishing. Faking hate crimes.
Unbelievable stuff. Let's get some reaction. Let's bring in our think tank tonight. Chandler's going to stay with us the whole hour. But joining us tonight in the Bronx, New York, criminal defense attorney Renee Hill. In Los Angeles, California, criminal defense attorney Lara Uretzian. And in Atlanta, Georgia, criminal defense attorney, law professor at Emory University, and Georgia Innocence Project board member Molly Parmer. Great to see everyone. Actually, Molly's right below me over here. Lara's over here. And yeah, there's Renee. Okay, so we got everybody in the right order. Renee Hill, what just happened? What just happened in that courtroom? What is going on? There's such a disconnect between this defendant and the reality that I saw based upon the evidence that I saw that became public, the ridiculousness of his story, what the jury saw, and what we were in court for today. Like, what was this?
Well, Vinny, obviously in Jussie's mind and in the opinion of his counsel, he is innocent, right? And he's proclaiming that, and he's not going to let that go. He was angry with the judge's decision, although he did say that he respected the court's decision in what the sentence was, but he was very upset. And I think that his final outburst in just reiterating the fact that he is innocent of these charges, but more so the fact of him saying that he's not suicidal and that if anything were to happen to him, it's not something that he did, is because of the things that happened behind closed doors, that happen in the jails to many inmates. And they cannot get in contact with their families when they're in there. So I completely understand why he would reiterate that multiple times in the courtroom, because of so many things that happen to inmates behind closed doors, and we can't get answers for them.
Let me ask you, Molly, the race issue in this sentencing today. It was really on the one hand, this is a hate crime hoax that he's been convicted of. He is still claiming he's the victim of a hate crime. The defense was arguing that the fact that he is mixed race, African-American, I think half Jewish, I believe is what came out during the course of this trial, that somehow he should be punished less because of that. And I got very confused by the whole thing. But at the end of the day, he's holding on to the fact that he's a hate crime victim. And that is what ends up putting him in jail, because he won't let go of it. There's no contrition, there's no apology, there's no remorse, there's nothing. He's just sticking to his guns, and that put him in the jail.
But I mean, I think if we're being a bit more precise, Vinny, what the judge really took issue with was his testimony, right? His perspective that this was a hate crime, his theory of defense. And honestly, I have a big problem in America's system of justice where you have a constitutional right to take the stand and defend yourself.
Right, do you have a right to commit perjury though? Do you have a right to commit perjury? Is that a right?
Well, I think-
That's a crime, isn't it?
Well, he's not charged with perjury at this point. The judge identified it as an aggravating factor and a sentencing enhancement. And they do this in the federal system too. They basically say you have obstructed justice by virtue of taking the stand. And I think the judge can point to other aggravating factors. But I do take issue with the state, with the court saying, well, if you take the stand and the jury finds you guilty, even though that's your right, even though you're exercising your right, now I'm going to enhance your sentence. And this sentence is incredibly disproportional to other people who've been charged with similar offenses. So listen,
no one's ever been accused of an offense similar to this. No way. Here's what we have to do. We have to take a quick break right now. But Renee, Lara, and Molly will be with us the whole hour. We're going to dive deep into this. I let the guests speak, but we just have to get this quick break in.